What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Threesome Show with your hosts, Bridget and your boy Don. What's going on, Bridge?
What's up?
Chilling, chilling. So, what we talking about today? What we got for the people?
So today we're gonna talk about. I don't want to say that like women can't do it, but I want to talk about like men trying to compete with women.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
So when you say women, men competing with women, what do you mean?
just like I mean, I feel like in a man's nature, y'all wanna fight for what's yours and y'all wanna feel like I'm on top, y'all wanna be the alpha. But I feel like sometimes when men are in relationships with women, I feel like they look at that as their competition. Like, oh, I gotta outdo you. I gotta do better than you. Instead of looking at it like, we a team. Um, so I'm gonna ask you, have you ever felt in a relationship where at any given point in time that you felt like you looked at your partner as competition where it's like, dang, she doing a little better than me, like I'm supposed to be the man, like, and if you have you made her feel that way?
So, and I know guys are gonna be like, he just saying shit because he want to look good. Nah, that's not really my thing. So, I am always gonna be the cheerleader, and I expect my woman to do the same for me. I'm always gonna be the cheerleader for the person that I'm with.
Hmm.
So if you're doing it, I'm right behind you with pom poms if I have
Yeah.
to make you feel good about what you're doing. But I also expect the same in return. So
Right.
um, even if I'm making less than a woman, still cheer me on.
Yeah.
If I'm making 60 and you're making 80, what I'm saying, cheer on my little 60. What I'm saying, don't
Yeah.
shine on my 60 because you're making 80. But no, I've always been a cheerleader. Sometimes to my detriment, but um, I've always been a cheerleader for the one I'm with.
Yeah.
And
um
I don't understand guys that want to compete with the person that they're with. Like who are you actually outshining at that point?
yeah.
Because you're really doing it for people, everybody that's looking at you, and they're looking at you like you're a damn fool. Because
Right.
they'd rather be with a woman who's out there getting it. So I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. um I don't know. I just feel like we in 2000. She said they want to compete because they have an insecurity. Yeah, I definitely feel that way. Like, but in a sense, I feel like, and I'm just gonna speak in general, whether it's a male or a female. If your partner, I feel like if your partner is like trying to be in competition with you, like they look at everything y'all do, like whether it's y'all career, your credit score, just any goals in life or your car, like, oh, I got a better car, you feel like you're in competition with your partner. I just don't believe that that's your person. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it's kind of like, you got this secret animosity, like I
Yeah.
can't, like I can't have nicer things, or like you always in competition with me. And as a partner, I feel like a partner is supposed to feel like, all right, we on the same team, um, we supposed to grow together, get it together. It don't matter who getting it first, or you know what I'm saying. So, but I feel like
Yeah.
some men. I'm not gonna say all men, and I'm not gonna say that women don't do it. Because I'm pretty sure it's women that probably make really good money, and they also hold that over their man's head or to their advantage. Like, oh, I make more money, so I can talk to you any type of way or whatever the case may be.
So I'm gonna throw that question back at you, being that someone like yourself who's an entrepreneur make their own money.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had someone who has competed with you?
I feel like I have, yeah. Somebody I dated in the past. Um, I feel like everything to them was like a competition. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, and I personally didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't even think of no examples, but it felt like everything was a competition. I felt like he looked at me like I was I don't want to say an enemy, but maybe a rival. I don't know, but I know he wasn't on the same team as me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah. So me personally, I just feel like yes, it's in a man's nature to want to compete, but compete with yourself. Honestly, I wouldn't even tell you compete with the next man. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like
Yeah.
a natural born leader, you only focused in your own lane. You ain't looking about what's next to you, and you damn sure ain't looking to compete with your fucking woman. You know what I'm saying? So, um, to me, it's like it's not a cool trait, but I feel like in today's society, I feel like it'd be a lot of men that be like, women be on their shit. Women be on their game. And I feel like men, like Nicole said, be intimidated by that. Some men, not all men. You do have men that's on their shit, but the men that is not, putting in that work and don't have as much as ambition as a lot of these women out here, they mad insecure. And the only way is to, either like talk down to the woman some way to where it's like, oh, I'm higher on a pedestal or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I don't get that because I think Nikel might have said this. At the end of the day, it's all about us both getting the money together. Like
Exactly.
let's get paid together. Let's make more.
Yeah.
Let's put your 80 to my 60, and let's make more money, as
Right.
opposed to sitting there looking at your mate and saying, "Oh, I can't believe you feel the way you feel," or "I gotta get more money than you."
Mm.
Like you said, compete against yourself. Like once you in your lane real good, you always gonna strive to get more.
Yeah.
But if you focused on somebody else's lane, you're never gonna move forward
Right.
because you're too busy trying to figure out where somebody else is instead of putting your foot on the gas and moving forward.
Right. I
So,
and I feel like some men, I guess the men that can handle it, it's like their egos being crushed. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I never been that type of woman, like honestly, and it don't even matter whether it's like a relationship or like a friendship. I'm not no natural born hater. Like I don't be hating on people. When I see people
mm-hmm,
doing good, that shit motivates me. I be like, damn, like she getting it. Like she getting to the bag. That shit makes me want to get to the bag. So I don't know. I just
right.
and that it might not just, I don't want to speak just in relationships, and I'm not saying just men do it because I feel like women can definitely do it too, be in competition. That's another thing. Like women be in competition with other women too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel like it's nothing on this earth that's impossible. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure like anything that somebody want to do is possible. You just gotta push yourself to there. So I feel like it's no reason for you to hate on somebody if you like what they doing. Use that shit as motivation and be like, even if it's not the same thing, you're not trying to do the same thing, but just the fact that you see them getting it and they that dedicated and focused, that should give you the motivation like, yo, let me get dedicated, let me get focused, let me get to the goals I'm trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, I feel like definitely men and women can, be in competition with people.
And so the way that I've always ran, and a lot of dudes that I've always ran with, so I don't run with people who, and this may sound bad in itself, but I don't run with people who make less than me. I need somebody who already has that drive and is
Okay.
already getting more. That when it comes to my friends and when it comes to my mate, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the woman that I'm with, I want somebody who I don't want them to be like, oh my God, I owe you something because you make more. Nah, get yours.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you hang around people who don't have, they can only teach you how to not have.
Right.
If you hang around people who got and who are getting it, they can show you a way that you can get it yourself. So I've never been, ever since I was probably as early as like 15, 16 years old, I've always hung around with people who was getting more because
Right.
it pushed me to want to get more. If I'm going to be in their circle, I got to look good in that circle.
Right.
So if I'm hanging around, and no disrespect to people in the projects, you know, y'all got to make it however y'all getting it. But if I'm running around people who in the projects on welfare and on Section 8, what can you possibly teach me except either A, how to dupe the system,
Right.
or B, how to be poor? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd
Hmm.
rather deal with cats and women, hang around dudes and women who are CEOs of companies or
Right.
have good positions at their company, because then you can show me how you got to where you are. Let me move up with you. And
Right.
while I'm moving up with you, I'm going to cheer you on. Whether
Yeah.
you be my homeboy or my woman, I'm going to cheer you on because I want you to feel good about where you are so you can help me get to where you are as well.
Right.
You know, reach back and grab the hand and pull me up. And even if you're not pulling me up, just showing me the way or
Yeah.
paving the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Drop them gems.
Just
Yeah.
paving that way. You know what I'm saying? But if you sitting there looking at somebody else's lane and sitting there like, I can't believe that, you know, they got this car. I can't believe, you don't know what problems come with that car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
you don't have that vehicle. You don't have those things because you're not ready to do the things necessary to maintain that.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
I don't understand anybody, whether it be your friend or your lover, if you're not happy with what they're doing and you got to be in competition, you got to look within on that. Like,
Right.
it's you got a problem with yourself. You got a
Hmm.
self-hate situation going on.
Facts. And I feel like, um, I feel like when people be like hating on people, like, the people that's being hated on, I feel like when there's people around you that's not like, they don't like to see you doing good, you shouldn't. Because sometimes they have a way of making you feel like shit, but I feel like people just got to know, like, I'm doing good, and it's really them. It's really them that's not happy with themselves. They probably miserable. They probably wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they got that term that be like, you ever met somebody that was doing better than you, but they still hating on you? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
see the potential in you. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely always felt like I've always surrounded myself around people that I feel like I want to be like. You know, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be around someone with less than me. If you got the mentality that is like we on the same mentality, because we might not be where we want to be at, but if you got that mentality, like, you got goals, you got a plan with the goals. I could be around you, but I always try to surround myself around either people I want to be like, or like you said, that's doing better than me. Even before I became an entrepreneur, I surrounded myself around a lot of entrepreneurs. That's not to say like I wouldn't be around somebody that didn't have their own business, but I love to sit in them rooms because I see that the moves that they make. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
showed me that like, okay, it's possible. You know, but
Like, I can appreciate somebody who, even somebody who has less than me, but they're sitting there willing to listen. You
yeah,
know, if if they got less than me and I'm telling them, all right, so this is what you got to do to move forward, and
yeah,
they're like, bet, let me go ahead and put that into action, as opposed to somebody who's like, who got less than me and they're sitting there going, oh, I know everything and you can't teach me anything. Well,
yeah,
apparently not, because you don't have it. You know,
yeah,
you're not getting it. Um, I had this dude that I was at one point trying to get to invest in a business venture, and dude came and picked me up from work, and he has real like real money, like generational wealth type money,
yeah,
and he came and picked me up for lunch because we was going to talk about my business plan, and when he pulled into the parking lot um, at my job, he see all of these Mercedes Benzes, these Lexuses, and he was like, and he's a white dude, and he had no bones about the fact that he was white, privileged, and making money. And
yeah,
he was like, "What's the median income at this job?" And I was like, "Probably like 50, 60,000." I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Cause what I see in this parking lot, is just a bunch of bad decision making. He was
Yeah.
like, if your median income is 50, 60,000, but you're driving a $70,000 car, something's wrong with the way you're thinking.
Right.
And he immediately he was like, "What kind of car you drive?" I was like, "I drive a Pontiac G6, my dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't balling like that." Because it's one thing to make people think you have more. It's another
Mm-hmm.
thing to actually want to get more.
Right.
You know, um, when I was younger, I used to look at Russell Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever saw Russell Simmons walking around Manhattan, he would be in a rustic looking baseball cap, his baby fat stuff or whatever. Not baby fat farm, not baby fat. Fat farm. Baby
Mm-hmm.
fat was his girl stuff. His ex girl.
Mm-hmm.
So his fat farm stuff, like looking like an average dude, and he drove a VW Bug.
Yeah.
Now this is somebody who has millions of dollars.
Right.
So from outward appearances, he didn't have anything, but his bank account was fat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got these dudes who have nothing, and they're walking around with Gucci belts, Gucci shoes. Uh, you don't have enough money to fill a Gucci wallet, so why?
Right.
And those are the same type of dudes in competition with their girl,
Yeah.
because their girl's actually making the money, but yet she shop at like Lane Bryant and shit. You know what I'm saying? She wears regular everyday clothes,
Yeah.
and you competing with her, but she's making it and you not. But you look like you got more.
Yeah.
So like I look at women, today's women, especially, they get it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're out there and they're willing to bust their behinds, get their money, get their education, do the things that's necessary so that they can move forward. And the downside to that, unfortunately, is they'll latch on to somebody who's not willing to get it, but is willing to pull them down to make them feel worse
Right.
for getting it.
Yeah.
Um, and wow, that's just crazy, but it's true. Like until you brought that up today, I was like, nah, dudes don't really. Yeah, the hell they do. They do compete with their women.
Yeah.
Um, Nikel said something about those men that call you big money. Um, so I say that as a joke all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if a woman's getting, I'm like, ah, shit, you getting it. You know what I'm saying? Big money.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for me to make them feel better or make them feel good about what they're accomplishing.
Yeah.
Not to make them, not to down them because they're getting it or to try to pull them down to my level. Nah, you getting it. Big money.
Right.
Um, but I know what Nikel's talking about. And I've seen those dudes who will make it out to be a slight, like, oh, you ain't got to worry about it because you get money.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got to worry about money. Ain't nobody unless you super rich, you still got to worry about money every day.
Yeah.
100,000 ain't rich no more.
Yeah.
So when you come around a guy, when you encounter a guy or a female friend
Mm-hmm.
who is who's competing against you and they got less. Because it's one thing if you're competing against somebody who's on the same level as you, that just makes you want to get more. Now y'all both moving back and forth. But if you're competing with somebody who got less than you, like what do you do to isolate that person and move them out of your world?
Man, knowing me, I'm telling you to fuck off. I don't even give a for real. I just can't. And I feel like when I was in my 20s, I feel like I was tolerated more. Like I feel like somebody could be around me and it's like number one, I peep everything. Just like, so even if I do keep if I did, sorry, if I did past tense, keep somebody around me, knowing like, damn, this motherfucker be hating. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like I was like naive to it. Like I knew it. Like, but now I'm just at a point where it's like, what you here for? You know what I'm saying? Like I could never have somebody around me who genuinely don't fuck with me, don't want me to win. You low key looking at me like enviously. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't want that type of energy around me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want people that like you said, like minded people, people that know like even if I'm getting it, you can get it, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just never been that type of person. So when you're not that type of person, it's hard for you to understand why people like that operate. You know, the only thing I
Yeah.
can assume is out of being miserable and not having enough motivation within themselves. And I feel like I said, sometimes people will hate on you even if they in better positions because you know they see your potential. They know that even if you might not have more than them, they know that what's in you can take you far beyond places they could ever be in, you know. So I feel like people be hating on that shit too, but I just feel like you got to cut them cut them the fuck off. Like honestly, and I wouldn't spare nobody around me if I felt like you giving me that type of energy. I probably would even tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody I used to be friends with, I had to cut her off, and I straight up told her, I'm like, you're not my friend. Like you know, she like, I ain't never said I wasn't your friend. I'm like, you don't gotta tell me. Like I know you not my friend. You know, and to me, it's no greater feeling than getting those type of people because you know, I feel like words are very powerful. The tongue is very powerful, and you never know. Like behind closed door, they like, man, I hope that bitch fucking fail. Like I hope that bitch did da. You know, and the whole time you
Mm-hmm.
speaking and manifesting all of this bad shit upon my life, bitch. I don't want you to see nothing that's going on in my life. You know, I don't want you to
Yep.
see when I am doing good because I don't need you to be mad enough, and bitch, just worry about yourself. You know. So I just feel like, yeah, like if you know that somebody not for you, whether it's your partner, your friend, or sometimes it could even be your own fucking family, you know, envious of you and jealous of you and in competition with you, I feel like you just gotta separate yourself from that, unfortunately, you know, or you just going, you know, have people cursing bad things upon your life and, you know, I just don't feel like you need that type of energy in your life.
Yeah, I had a dude similar to that I was really cool with. Like we ran tough together, and just because his position in life, he was just doing a little bit better, and I was cool with that. I
Yeah.
would always big him up. Like if I was ever talking about him to other
Mhm.
people, I would always talk him up. Like I
Yeah.
would always speak highly of him.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that when I was around him and other people were around, he would talk me down. Like he
Yeah.
would always try to downplay anything I was doing, and I'm sitting there looking at him like, yo, like you getting it?
Mhm.
Like why why am I the focal point of your conversation, and you're trying to talk down about me,
Right.
and you're getting it, and you know that every time I talk about you in a good light,
Right.
and it was after like really some years, and I don't know why it took me as long to realize, yo, this person is not only are they not good for my circle, but like you said, in private, I think that they were praying for my downfalls.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there looking at them like, yo, you getting it. I'm trying to get it like you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Anything I can do to help to turn your page for you. You know what I'm saying? To
Mhm.
make you look good. You know what I'm saying? Because one day I might need you to turn my page for me. So
Yeah.
until I get there, I'm gonna turn your page for you. I'm gonna make sure that your book is always on point.
Right.
And I was like, yo, why is this person always downplaying me? And they didn't have enough confidence on where they were at.
Mhm.
So, in order for them to look better in other people's eyes, even though they already look good, but in
Yeah.
order for them to look better in other people's eyes, they had to make sure that I look bad.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's really, really fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
because that's not who I am, and that's not who I really position myself around.
Right.
So, like, that was like really, really, that was like one of the few times in my life that I could say, like, a male that I was cool with, like, really
Mhm.
hurt me. Because
Yeah.
I try not to really get hurt by anybody, but definitely not by no guys. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Brush that shit off.
Yeah.
But when it's somebody that I'm bigging them up and I'm making them look good in everybody's eyes, and
Right.
they are working so hard to make me look bad, and I'm like, damn, I ain't even getting it like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've all I think we've all had that friend or so-called friend
Right.
who's in our circle, and we're like, yo, we should be wanting the best for each other, and they don't, you know.
Yeah.
So and women got that shit a lot worse than dudes, you
Yeah.
know.
Like I've heard shit on the internet where they be like, if you deal with a woman and she don't got no friends, then that determines the type of woman she is. Basically saying like if no other woman want to be around her, then that mean like she's not a good woman. Which I feel like that statement is completely false. Like you know what I'm saying? Um, Cause I mean, just like with women, that happen with men. But sometimes the closest people to you can be your biggest hater, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what a lot of people can't do is cut off fucking people when you know they're not for you. Like they'll know they friend phony, but they like, oh well, I'ma still hang with her when it's time to go out. Like, no, I don't want no phony friend when it's time to go out, when it's time to vent, cry, get money, none of that. If you not genuine, I don't want you around me at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, which some people are willing to hold on to people just to be like, oh, I got friends. You know, I feel like I would rather like be by myself than claim a phony fake ass fucking person that's really not even my friend. You know,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. And like definitely women, like I've seen women out at clubs or whatever, and you can always tell that one person who's doing better than everybody else, and they're positioning everybody around them like they have this circle of friends with them, and they're
mhm.
positioning themselves so that everybody knows that they're doing better than their circle,
Yeah,
you know. And
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's
you
crazy, like,
got weird ass people like that though. Like you got like all right, and I'm gonna speak on women, but you really got now this is I'm not gonna say all women do this, but I'm just gonna explain some fucked up ass mentalities, right? Like you got some women that be like, I'm choosing these type of friends because I look better than them. So when I go out with them, even though I'm probably an average
yep,
7 or 8, I look like a motherfucking 10 compared to these bitches. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Then you got another fucked up ass mentality of women that feel like they can only hang around a certain level type of woman. Like, oh, your body gotta be banging, you gotta be mad pretty, you gotta have, long luxurious weave and designer bags and shit. And them is the only bitches I can surround myself around, you know. And I never agree with neither one of those type of mentalities. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me genuine ass people that fuck with me. They gonna have my back in front of my face and behind my when I'm not around. Like
yep.
I don't want people around me just because you pretty. And I don't need nobody around. I'm secure, so secure about myself that I don't need to feel like, oh, I need to choose people. No, I fuck with people based on who they are, not what they look like. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as you get older, that goes even when it comes to the type of partner you choosing. It shouldn't be strictly on looks. It should be based on people's character, who they are. So, but it's just like people really just be having some fucked up ass mentality. Some people is taught that. Some people was treated like that. And then once they're taught that because they was treated like that by somebody else, now you doing that to other people. Um, and I definitely feel like people should, regardless if you winning in life, and even if you feel like, all right, people around me is hating, I feel like you should always stay humble. That's one thing. Like some people like fuck being humble, like, but I truly believe in like being humble because I feel like God can change people's situations in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And be careful of the toes you step on today, because they might be attached to the ass you got to kiss tomorrow. So,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've seen the girls in the club I've walked up on the group of girls at the club where you got one slim girl,
Yeah.
um, and she running with a bunch of thicker or heavier set women,
Yeah.
and she's doing that shit just to make herself look good. I walk right past her every damn time.
Right.
Like I, I'm a intentionally show the bigger girls some love just to show you that what you're trying to do is
Mm.
having the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't hang around people just because they make you look better.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody in your crew should look good.
Yeah.
Everybody. You know what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying? From
I
the
really
person who got
do.
the go ahead.
I really do see beauty in everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'll never sit here and be like, oh, somebody's not beautiful. No, everyone has something beautiful about them. Like, that's truly how I
Mm-hmm.
feel. And I feel like even if somebody is pretty or beautiful, if they heart ain't just the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, then that make you an ugly ass person. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be beautiful but treat people like shit. That
Yeah.
automatically is gonna take away from your outside beauty, and your outside beauty also fades, you know. So I don't know. I always was raised on like treating people how you want to be treated. I'm not choosing people because of the way that you look or your status or the type of you because you got money or whatever the case may be. Like, no, like I just fuck with genuine ass fucking people. And I always believe in being humble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, that's like if somebody give me a compliment, that's one thing. Like, I'm never too good. If somebody give me a compliment, I'm always gonna say thank you. Like, I'm never gonna ever get beside myself and get big headed, to where it's like I think I'm better than people.
Yeah. So there's one thing to be confident, and one thing to I find confidence in to an extent. I find confidence very attractive
Mm-hmm.
in women. So even if you may not have everything going on in your world, but you're confident about who you are,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
comfortable in your own skin. Um, I find that to be attractive, and that'll definitely attract me quicker than the female who got the BBL and
Right.
you know what I'm saying she all done up. That you got 50 dudes telling you all day that you cute. You don't
Yeah.
need me to do that. You already got that. But
Yeah.
the woman who looks like the average, ordinary, everyday woman, but
Mm-hmm.
she walk with her head held high and she confident, that's
Yeah.
just attractive to me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
could I could meet you in the grocery store on a bad day, and I'm like, yo, I can see the confidence in you.
Mm-hmm.
You good? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, and I've seen women who were overly confident. They
Mm-hmm.
were cocky about the shit, and they had nothing to be cocky about.
Yeah.
Like you can be confident without being cocky.
Right.
Um, and usually it's that woman who's all done up. She done woke up in the morning, did her hair, her nails, and threw eyelashes on to go to the grocery store, but she walking through there like, you know what I'm saying, I'm this shit.
Right.
And you look at her, just a nice, cordial smile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to push up. And she's like, if you don't get your stank ass out of here, like, go
Yeah.
on with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, so and guys have fed into that narrative so bad
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like, oh, you have to be this centerfold model chick for me to even pay you any attention, and yet you got these everyday ordinary women who are getting passed over,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the good women. You know what I'm saying? Those are the women who are gonna have your back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 100%. They not gonna compete with you. No,
Yeah.
even if most of them are making more money, they got your back. But they bypassing them because of the chick who was like, yeah, I'm gonna go down to Mexico and I'm gonna spend my very, very, very last dollar to get my ass bigger, and I ain't got money to turn my lights on when I get back home.
Right.
That's the type of women that they want to big up.
Yeah.
So, like, I love the fact that women today are getting it. Um, I think it's a beautiful thing. And even though by society standards, men are making more money in the same role than women, and I think that's something that needs to change. But more women are in the workplace really making money.
Mhm.
And there's so many guys who are not willing to do that push and make those moves to make the money. Um, those are the same dudes that sitting there going, I ain't gonna kiss nobody ass to get ahead. Look, if I gotta make my boss feel like they the best boss ever,
Yeah.
just so I can move up, I'll do it. Fuck it. That shit ain't
Yeah.
gonna hurt me. It shit ain't cost me nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah,
those
I feel you on that.
and those are the same dudes that sitting there downplaying their woman to try to make her feel like nobody else is gonna want her because she's not shit.
Right.
Um, they're sitting there going, "Oh, you ain't nothing. You ain't shit,"
Yeah.
because they know that they're better than them.
Right.
So instead of saying, "Yo, you the best," yo, put you on a fucking pedestal, like you my whole world. They'd rather be like, "Yo, you ain't shit. Yo, you picking up weight. Um, you don't even dress right no more."
Mhm.
That's because they scared. They
Yeah.
scared that she's gonna see her worth and realize that this person is not worth my time that I've been giving them.
Yeah.
So, ladies, keep fucking doing what y'all doing. Fuck that shit. Fuck all them dudes who are not willing to go out there and get it themselves. Fuck
Yeah.
them.
Why do you feel like because now don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna lie, this is something I've been thinking about lately. Okay. I will never discredit the fact that black men go through a lot, and a lot of the times black men can't talk about what they go through. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm gonna speak this off my own personal experience. Lately, how I've been feeling, like, where how they'll be like, y'all don't understand what black men go through. We go through this and da 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 da. But I feel like in today's society, I feel like black men, some, not all, okay, I always gotta state that. They not really understanding what us women is going through, especially us single women. Like we is literally being the man and the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like we're literally operating outside of our nature and hustling like grown ass men. And then we gotta also be soft and be feminine and cook and clean and ones that take care of all the children with no help. Like, goddamn, we got the heaviest motherfucking weight on our shoulders. Like, can y'all give us some fucking grace? Cause and I'm not knocking that y'all go through it, cause y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn, I feel like us women, our fucking load is like overloaded. You know,
So,
yes, and
from
I'm sorry not to cut you off, but Nicole said, and when we as women really support black men, and that's another thing. We always have, most of the time, we have y'all back through thick and thin. Y'all be having our motherfucking back. I'm not talking to you, Don, but I'm just talking in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, y'all. And then it's like, I just don't understand. She said, "We will give a man a chance over and over and over. Y'all will still stay, man. She don't hear me. Sir, you
so
want to be a rapper at 45 without a job? I sure the fuck cannot support that.
so
No.
black men in America, we do have it hard. We do have it hard. But we I think because we have it so hard that we forget that on the totem pole, and I get reminded of this sometimes, and it's kind of good that I get reminded of this. On
Mm,
the totem pole, right? Women are the lowest in
yeah.
society, right?
Yeah.
Now you take a black woman and you put her one step lower than the lowest part of the totem pole. That's the
Mm-hmm.
black woman.
Yeah.
And what men don't realize is, yeah, we get beat up. Society beats the shit out of us, but we're built to deal with that. We're
Mm-hmm.
built to handle that.
Yeah.
Now you take a woman who she's not only got to fight for herself,
Yeah.
but she still got to turn around and make her man feel good or make a man feel good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what men forget is while we're getting beat up,
Mhm.
there's somebody who's trying to pick us up, and we're trying to push them down at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, like for example, and I know we said we're not gonna keep getting into politics, but hell, this is a great fucking time to be talking about politics. Right now, Kamala Harris is getting beat up on
Mhm.
because because she made choices in her life to succeed and not have children.
Yeah.
She put she put her life into her work. Um, what up, homie? She put her life into her work, and right now they're saying because she doesn't have children, she's not in a position where she can be the president of the United States.
That
Like,
happens all the time.
how much more can you beat up on a woman
Yeah.
than to tell her because you chose to succeed and put your success ahead of having children
Mhm.
that now you're not qualified.
Yeah.
But if a man chose never to have children,
Right.
that shit would never come into play, would never be a conversation.
Yeah, he would be well respected, all that. Yeah. I feel like women with no children, like, I feel like I faced that in my life. I know other women in my life that like also doesn't have children. And it's kind of like the world, the way society is, it's like if you don't have children, you're not a woman. You have no say so and you don't get no respect. Which to me is completely false.
And the crazy thing is, um, and I'll never quite understand this. So a woman, by all rights, let's call the bullshit for what it is. Woman gets into a position of power,
Mhm.
and she gets pregnant. That's like their biggest concern is okay, so if we put you in a position where you're the CEO of a company and you get pregnant, you got to take time off to have a kid.
Yeah.
But if you decide not to have children, now they're gonna beat up on you because you didn't have kids.
Right.
So yes, black men have it hard in this world. We do. Fuck it. Can't nobody even argue that statement.
Yeah.
Black men in America got it hard. Black women in America got
Mhm.
it 20 times harder because you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, they make it seem like human purpose in life is to reproduce, but it's your life, so you can do as you please. Absolutely, Mom.
Yeah.
Absolutely, do what the fuck you want to do. If you decide to have a child, by all means, great. You're probably gonna be a great mom,
Yeah. But if you don't,
because
that
women
don't
are
mean that you don't deserve respect as an adult, as a human being. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that you can't make, logical decisions. If anything, I feel like if you choose not to have a child, like clearly you're moving smart. Not saying like anybody that chose to have a child, you're not moving smart, because if you want to have children, you can have children. You know what I'm saying? But if you choose not to have children because you are more focused on other things in your life, to me, that's smart. You know what I'm saying? But people literally act like when you don't have kids, you can't. I've even heard someone say on Facebook before, this guy, he made a post and was like, if you don't have kids, you can't speak on kids. That's a damn lie, because I damn near raised all my
that's
nieces and
bullshit.
nephews. Exactly. I said, first of all, any woman can lay down on her back and have a child. Every woman does not know how to raise a child correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because someone don't have a child don't mean that they don't know how to nurture a child, raise a child, take care of one, and it don't mean that they never had it. Just might not be their child. So but I feel like I faced it in my own life from even some of my own family, that it's like they don't even treat me like a woman because I don't have no kids, and that's fucked up.
And the crazy thing is, there are some women who should have never had a child. Like
Exactly.
they should have
You got
never
women that
just
got 5, 6 kids that shouldn't have had one.
right, right. Every person. So every person comes into parenthood not knowing what the fuck to do. So just because you have kids doesn't make you the foremost expert on
Mm-hmm.
fucking having children.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking owner's manual. Take it from somebody who has 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
There's no owner's manual. Well, 4 plus 2. There's no
Yeah.
owner's manual on how to deal with being a parent.
Yeah.
Some people are just they just have that embedded in them, even
Right.
if they've never had a child. They still have that maternal instinct
Right.
embedded in them.
Right.
So if a and I know women who have children and they'll look at somebody who don't have children trying to give them advice on how to raise their kid, and they be like, "You only have kids." Yeah, but that doesn't mean they don't have a maternal instinct.
Right.
They just chose not to go out there, sleep with anybody, and get knocked the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like they did some responsible shit.
Right.
Um, I know quite a few dudes, that longtime friends of mine, guys, who don't have any children at all,
Mm-hmm.
have no plans on having children, but sometimes they'll say shit to me about my kids, and I'm like, that shit makes sense. Like,
Exactly. And
you
it's
know what I'm
because
saying?
number
Like,
one, when you are a parent and you in the moment of like you could be raising your child, disciplining your child, you just in the moment. You're
mm-hmm,
not the person on the outside looking in. Like the person who has no kid, we on the outside looking in, we just sitting back, observing the whole situation. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? And to where it's like we can see things for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like anything in your life, sometimes like you might not be acting like yourself and you might not even know it. But it might take one of your friends to be like, yo, Don, you ain't been acting like yourself. Like you just seem a little off. Like you've been seeming a little down lately. And you're not even recognizing it because you not on the outside looking in, you know? So I feel like people who don't have kids, like you said, like it doesn't mean that they're not a nurturer at heart. It don't mean that they don't know how to take care of a child. Literally, I could take care of a child with my eyes closed. Like, and anybody who knows me know, like they be like, Bridget, if you ever did become a mother, you would be a great mother. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like no one could tell me. You can't tell me because I don't have kids. I can't speak on parenting from what I see. You know, like no, can't no one tell me. There's so many people out here that have done had kids and failed their fucking kids. Like no, tell them they can't speak on children. You can't tell somebody just because they don't have kids they can't speak on,
right.
children.
So I'm gonna pick on Marvin real quick before I
Okay.
step away for a quick second. So Marvin says, I think you're the only guy, and I hope you didn't drop off.
Mhm.
I think you might have dropped off, but if you haven't, um, since you're the only guy, I'm getting you into your life real quick. Do you have children? Um, and I want you to add some more to the conversation. But also, but while we wait to see if he responds, so Bridget, you don't have children,
Mhm.
um, but by all rights, from everything I've spoke to you about, you're a phenomenal aunt.
Thank you.
So when when you see one of your friends who have children,
Mhm.
right? And I'm gonna step away, but I can still hear you. So when you see friends who do have children,
Mhm.
do you offer your opinion on certain things that you see that they might be doing wrong or doing different, or they could do different, or do you
Yes.
hold that back because you don't have children? I'll
I
be right
don't.
back.
Okay.
Tell
I
them
know you
about
listening. I don't hold back. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm never going to disrespect nobody, and I'm not going to step on their toes, and I'm not ever going to tell them what they need to do as a parent. But I will suggest things. You know what I'm saying? Like if I feel like somebody can go about something a different way, you know, I will suggest that, like, you know, whether it's like how you talking to your kids, um, or sometimes, you know, things is out of habit, like how you are raised, and even how you're raised might not been 100% the right way. But whole time now you taking them same things, and some of them things might be negative, and now you applying it to your parenting style towards your children. You know, like I know somebody that was like, they grew up and they was like in a military family, and it's like, you know, they had that structure, you know, and they might not have liked being raised that way, but it's like, you know, they might be passing it along to how they raising their kids. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know, but I do keep it real. I keep it real with people, but at the same time, I don't want to step on their toes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm an aunt, when it come to, you know, my most of my nieces and nephews, if they're around me and something go wrong, I'm going to correct them. I'm not going to physically discipline them. It's been times where one of my sisters might have gave me the okay to physically discipline them. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, and I still know it's a boundary, because it's like I'm not taking your place, but I want to be that person that, like, when your kids can't talk to you or they don't even feel comfortable talking to you, I want them to come to me, because you want them talking to some adult instead of talking to their dumbass
Right.
friends who the same age as them and don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I do give my opinion sometimes. And in the past I feel like sometimes people close to me, like, don't tell me I got this, you know, like my sister, one of my sisters, she, like, you know, she might have got offended. But I feel like as we get older, I feel like my siblings realize, like, I was never stepping on your toes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I see things different, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the outside looking in. Just like you said, it's no manual to being a parent. So it's kind of like you're learning as you go. And if I ever choose to be a parent myself, even though I feel like I've experienced being a parent since I was 12, because my brother had a child at 15 and she lived with us. Like, I'm still gonna have to learn things my damn self, you know, lessons, even lessons that I think that I know, I'm gonna learn it. You don't really know until you're in them shoes. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but I don't know. I feel like, you know, like Nicole said, it takes a village, you know, and I just want to be that village. You know, I feel like everybody's goal is to take care of the kids and make sure they better than how we was. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as a parent, you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I know everything." You know, and it's okay to
And
listen. You don't got to do what people say, but listen.
and so throughout parenthood for me, um, I know first of all there's two parents, and everybody's gonna have their own way of parenting.
Yeah.
Even if y'all together, and you know the mother and the father, they're gonna have two different ways of parenting.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm always willing to listen to reason.
Mhm.
If somebody says something to me, and I'm like, you know what, that's not the way that I would do it, but maybe I should just take a moment to glance from your view.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who his kids would always come spend the night at my house or whatever with my kids,
Mhm.
and you know, the first time his kids came to spend the night, I'm like, look, this is the type of parent I am. If they're in my house and
Mhm.
they mess up, I will chastise your child, and if that means putting hands on your child, by all means, I will put
Mhm.
my hands on your child. And he was
That's the
like,
old
yo,
school parent.
yeah, that's old school. I was raised old school, and I'm gonna keep it old school because you know what? That shit didn't fail me.
Mhm.
And he was like, yeah, by all means, if they act up, put your
Yeah.
hands on them if you got to.
Right.
I never had to put my hands on his child, on his children. Um, Now fast forward. Now I watched his children grow up from the age 5 to now. I think they're like 19, 20 now. When his son was going to college, his son thought so much of me and how I treated him and the things I taught him. When he was getting ready to go to college, he sent me a long text message, and I was like, "Yo, why are you sending me a text message?" I'm reading it, like he gave me his whole breakdown of what he planned on doing with his life, like what he was going to school for, what he planned on pledging in college, what college he was applying for, and I'm not his father,
Right.
but yet because I've always treated him with from a parental standpoint.
Mhm.
No, I'm not your friend. We could talk though. You know, like you
Mhm.
said, they gotta have somebody to talk to. We could
Right.
talk. I'm not your friend, but I can definitely be your advisor. We can have
Right.
conversations. And when his friends was coming down on him and he felt like going to his dad would make him seem weak, he would come to me. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, nah, you're not weak because you have emotions. Like
Right.
emotions is something that everybody has. I don't give a fuck if you're a man or a woman. You have emotions. And if you feel hurt by something, it's okay for you to express that hurt.
Right.
Express it in a positive way, you know?
Mhm.
And we grew a bond, and this is somebody who, by all rights, I had really no stake in his life. You know,
Mhm.
I was the friend of his dad. That's it.
Yeah.
But when it came time for him to start making decisions, he felt like I can go and talk to my dad. My dad's always been in my corner, but I'd rather tell somebody who never had a reason to have any care on my life.
Right.
But he made sure that I knew what was right and was wrong and how to
Yeah.
handle things. Um, and that young man is doing like super well right now, and I would like to think, and I can't take no fucking credit for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got great parents, but I would like to think that I had some small thing to play in that as
Yeah. You
being
had
a
an
part of
impact.
his village. You know what I'm saying? To
Mhm.
impact his life and say, you know what? There's a million ways you can go in this world. Choose the right one. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I think in today's society, because women are doing so much better for themselves,
Yeah.
that other women, friends, or whatever, should see that as I want my child to be as close to you as possible
Yeah.
so that my child can see not only one person making it.
Right.
My daughter can't just see that their mom is making it, but
Mhm.
their mom and their mom's best friend and their mom's friend's friend, and we all getting it.
Right.
Because that's not going to do nothing but teach that young lady that I saw my mom making it. I saw my mom's best friend making it. And every woman that my mom has ever brought around me, they
Mhm.
getting it.
Mhm.
I don't need a crutch. I can go out there and get it on my own because they
Right.
doing it. So I
Right.
can do it. Um, and I think that because women, and now I'm going to beat up on women a little bit.
Go ahead. Beat us up.
I
Beat
think
y'all
that
up.
because women have gotten this ownership type of situation where
Mhm.
it's like, no, that's mine. Nobody gonna tell mines what to do but me.
Mhm.
They're also losing their daughters because in some situations the man's not around to teach their daughter that their daughter's a
Hello.
princess. You know what I'm
Preach to the
saying?
gods. Go
And
ahead.
and now you're telling your daughter that only I can put you on a pedestal.
Exactly.
Nobody else can make you feel good about yourself. It's only for me.
Yeah.
Your dad's not here. He ain't doing it. And I don't want you listening to anybody but me. Now, when that young lady goes out into the world, she thinks that if my mom ain't telling me that I'm somebody, then what everybody else says don't matter.
Yeah.
Whether they're telling me I'm good or I'm bad.
Right.
Um, it's a beautiful thing when you have women who are friends and everybody who's in that circle look at each other like I can lean on you for advice,
Yeah.
and not just advice on how good I look or what outfit I should buy or whether these shoes look good on my feet, but also am I doing right by being a parent? You know,
Right.
am I doing good as being a parent? Because if we allowed other people to have a say so in our lives, it
Hmm.
may change the outcome of our children's lives.
Absolutely. That's just
You
like
know?
if a woman is a single mother and she's raising up a teenage boy and his father ain't never been in his life, she might need a male figure that's one of her homeboys or something, or her brother. You know what I'm saying? When her son start acting up and he's a teenager and he feel like and he finally at that point where I don't need to listen to you, she's gonna need some male figure in his life to straighten his ass up. Like, no, you is gonna listen to your mother. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's important to have people around you, and you can't sit there and like discredit them when they are trying to help you and be a part of your village because you might absolutely need them one day. You know, when you if you get to a point where you can't control your child, you're gonna need that person, you know. So that's why I feel like you shouldn't be quick to just be like, no, only what I say. No, no one's trying to, and I feel like sometimes parents they feel threatened, like people trying to take your spot. No, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, somebody should put their hands on your child. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's somebody close to them, like I grew up like that. Like my mother, like if she act up, beat her ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it is what it is. Half the people ain't really beat my ass, but it was like, I knew that I couldn't go around just disrespecting any adult. Like just because I'm like, okay, they going my mother already gave them the go to beat my ass. And then when I get home, I'm getting a real fucking ass whooping.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? So I already knew not to fucking play with my mother. I knew not to play with her or play with any adult. And it's like, but I feel like, a child will never forget that. Like, even when a child has good parents, like you were saying, they'll never forget when people made a mark in their life.
Yeah.
And it really do help shape them into the person that they become. Like me, my dad wasn't really around, but one thing I will never do, I will never forget any positive male figure that did come in my life and help me at any given point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to have a homegirl, her father, when I first started driving, I got my car. I'm a female. My fucking brakes was squealing, and I don't know shit about cars. And he like, Bridget, go buy your brakes. And he like, and come and I will change your brakes. Like I'm not charging you. He like, you gotta keep up with your car. But one thing I will never forget that he did that for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not playing. Every Father's Day, I will reach out to her and I'd be like, tell your father I said Happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Like I will never forget people that was in my life, and made a huge impact in my life, and helped me become who I am today.
Like I have been um I've always been around I always hung around older dudes. And my mom realized that
Yeah.
early in the game. Because there's things that your parents are just not gonna catch, you know?
Hmm.
Their parents ain't in the streets with you, they just not gonna catch it.
Yeah.
And my mom realized that since I hung around older dudes and I had respect for the older dudes, and older dudes like me, they like having me around.
Mhm.
She would always tell them, "Yo, watch him in the streets." You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you see him doing something, snatch his ass up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I remember one day, um, I'll never forget this damn day. My mom had got a report from somebody in the neighborhood, and they told her that I was riding around in stolen cars. I wasn't riding around in no stolen cars. No, come on now.
You sure about that?
Stealing cars ain't my thing. All right, so I may have rode around in like one or two, but I'm just saying.
Mhm. Mhm.
And instead of my mom coming to chase me down and find out where I was at,
Mhm.
she reached out to those same older dudes that I looked up to, the
Yeah.
same older dudes that I tried to always try to impress, always tried to hang around. And she was like, "Yo, Somebody told me he was riding around a stolen car. You need to go deal with him.
Yeah.
I'm standing on the corner chilling with my boys. We just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Car screeches up. These dudes snatched me up, threw me in the back of the damn car,
Mm-hmm.
took me out behind a building. It was like, yo, we heard you was riding around a stolen car. I'm like, yo, what y'all talking about? What's going on? And they whooped my ass. It didn't even. I didn't have to get back to my mom.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? The ass whooping I just took, I ain't even gonna go tell my mom that they fucked me up.
Did it teach
I
you
just
your
took that
lesson
ass
though?
whooping. Hell yes. I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to be around anybody who stole cars.
Yeah.
If people stole, the dude that stole cars, it was like, yo, you want to take a ride? The hell no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the store and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going back around the way.
Yeah.
I'll walk. I'll
Mm-hmm.
walk 30 blocks first before I jump in the
Mm-hmm.
car with you. Because somehow or another, it's getting back to my mother and it's getting to them.
Yeah.
Um, Tomorrow happens to be the birthday of a guy who has been in my life, and this is kind of really lends credence to what we're talking about. Um, he's been a part of my village. He's 10 years older than me. For the last 45 years,
Mm-hmm.
he's been a part of my life. He's been a building block on my life. He's given me advice. He's shown me things, and he's chastised me when I wasn't doing right. And I'm gonna take a moment because we're talking about when somebody has an impact on your life. Sometimes you don't get a chance to say, "Yo, thanks." So,
Right.
to my big brother Chris, he's not my biological brother. Later on in life, he became my brother-in-law.
Okay.
But to my big brother Chris, yo, I appreciate you, and you've shown me a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I am the man I am today, partly because you took the time to just talk to me. So, in the next 3 hours, he'll be turning 60. So happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
But he didn't have to do it, and
Yeah.
my parents didn't have to allow him to do it.
Yeah.
But because my parents realized they can't be everywhere at every time, you
Exactly.
know. So you need your eyes out there. You need people who out there who looking out for your children. And for every parent who thinks I can do it all, I know best for my child, fall back on that thought. Because sometimes you are really gonna need that friend, that auntie, that
Mm-hmm.
uncle that might have their ear more in the street than you,
Right.
or might be places that you're not. You need them to have that ability or that say so that I need you to be able to deal with my child as if they were your own.
Right.
You know, I made a big joke about this last time about knowing three women in their 30s without children. But what I know of those three women is they may not have children, but they still have the ability to be good moms to somebody else's child. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
just because you don't have a child of your own does not mean that you can't be a good mom to somebody else's child or help somebody else out with their child. You
Yep.
know, God may have just put you in a position where I don't have my own so that I can be for somebody else's.
Hello. Say it again,
You
Dawn,
know what I'm
because
saying?
I'm telling you, yeah.
Because people don't really realize that sometimes you're not supposed to be a port, you're supposed to be a portal. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So you may not have children of your own, but that don't mean that you can't, because you don't have a child of your own, you can now lend yourself to help out three other women
Right.
with their children. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And make
Mm-hmm.
sure that they always know they have a place, a safe place that they can come to
Mm-hmm.
and talk to somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, you can't always talk to your parents.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you are scared to death to talk to your parents about.
Right.
So you need a place, you need a safe space that you can come to. And you know what? Every you know, it may not just be your nieces, you know what I'm saying, or your nephews,
Mhm.
but it might be your friends' kids, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, you know what I'm saying? Mom gonna trip, but I can at least go talk to Auntie Bridge, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she
Right.
she may scold me, but she not gonna trip. She gonna steer me in the right direction.
Right.
Cause sometimes as parents, we have to be strictly stringent. We can't be your friend.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be a parent at all times.
Yeah.
But you sometimes need somebody who can be a parental figure and
Yep.
still be a friend to your
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I've been really truly blessed with raising my children, especially my daughter in New York. Um, I've had so many dudes and so many women that I grew up with
Mhm.
that would look out for her even when she didn't realize they was watching over her.
Yeah.
They knew where she was, they knew who she was, they knew
Mhm.
where she was, what she was supposed to be doing. And it wasn't always about them coming to report back to me.
Right.
You ain't got to report back to me. If you see something wrong, handle that shit on the spot.
Right.
You ain't gotta run back to me. Handle it.
Right.
Once it's handled, it's handled. Now, if my daughter come in and would have been like, "Oh, such and such yelled at me," so what was you doing though? What was you doing that made them yell at you?
Right.
So yes, to all of the Auntie Bridges out there, you know what I'm saying? Yo, thanks for being there for everybody else's kids. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have your own, because I don't know. It looks like great women don't always have to have kids.
Yeah.
Next president of the United States ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
you ain't gotta have children to do it great. You
Shit,
just gotta be a great
Oprah don't got
person.
no kids. You see how much money she got. Don't play with it.
That's true. That's true. And I'm not today in today's day. I'm not a real big Oprah fan.
I'm not
However,
saying you gotta be. I'm just saying that's
but
a
she did great things. I can't take that shit from
the
her.
bitch rich.
I can.
I don't know.
I can't. I could do a lot. I could say a lot of things, but I can't knock her hustle. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? She did it when everybody told her she couldn't.
Exactly.
She did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And there's a lot of women who should look at Oprah
Mm-hmm.
and not say I want to take on her personality, but I want to take on her drive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was right here in Baltimore and
Mm-hmm.
got fired from a job
Yep.
that catapulted her to where she is today.
Yep.
So, um, because so many black women are feel like they're pressed down constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know how the hell we changed this to the Oprah Winfrey show, but um, they should look at somebody like Oprah and
Yeah.
say, you know what? No matter how hard society tries to press me down, I got springs on my feet and I just bounce higher. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Black women got it hard, and we you know we were talking about that. Black men got it hard, but black women got it harder.
Yeah.
Um, yo, y'all just need to press. You know, press on. Um, I think this year right here is going to be pivotal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to show. It's going to finally show black women, and young black women that there's a place for you in society that is far above everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, you're not the bottom of the totem pole
Yeah.
anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're
Mm-hmm.
actually more than what everybody thought you could be and
Right.
better.
Yep.
So
Our opportunities are
I think
limitless.
that
We can accomplish anything.
like we felt I know as a black man I felt pride when Barack Obama got elected president. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, all my life as a kid, the teachers used to be like, you could be the president. I used to be like, yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
Ain't no president look like me ever.
Right.
But now that's out the way. So young black men in school, when a teacher says that to them, they know that it's a fact.
Yeah.
I can become president
Right.
if I position myself the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show young black women the same thing now.
Right.
You
I mean,
know,
I feel like we
Hillary
already
couldn't
made
do it.
history as the first woman vice president, especially woman of color.
Yeah.
So it's like we already know she already, accomplished something that's never been done. She's about to do it again.
So, when she was named vice president and they got elected into office, and she was named vice president, I felt proud in that.
Yeah.
But and not to put a negative spin on something so positive, she was the second in command to a white man.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So even though she did
See the
it,
HBIC next.
yes indeed, yes indeed. Let's put her where she belongs. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because I kind of think this. I don't have anything to prove with this, but I kind of think a lot of the things that Biden accomplished, like, he accomplished because of her.
Yeah, of course.
So let's let her make the decisions. White men, fuck it, men
Let's see
in
how this
general have been
country be.
fucking up this.
Let's see how this country is ran with a woman in charge, because we already know half y'all motherfuckers wouldn't be where y'all is unless it wasn't for the strong woman that was next to y'all. So what do y'all think can
Here,
happen to
here.
this country with a strong black woman? You know?
And that's what a lot of guys don't understand. And let's circle back to the beginning of the show when guys are sitting there and they're like competing with the woman. What they don't realize is, with a good woman by your side, sky's the limit.
Right.
There's really no stopping a good black man with a good black woman by their side, or a
Right.
good woman. Period.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know, I'm definitely pro black woman, but there are good women of all races.
Right.
And what a lot of men, especially white men, have realized,
Mm-hmm.
that a good woman, period, whether she be black, Asian, white, a good woman by your side
Mm-hmm.
can catapult whatever you were doing into so much more greatness. And you know
Right.
who realized that shit? Jay Z.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z was good in his own right. He
Right.
was a good rapper. He made some good moves, but it took a Beyonce to change his trajectory in life and make him that much greater. She changed him from being a millionaire to becoming a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was not ashamed to say, well, maybe today leave the Timberland boots at home and put on his suit,
Right.
because it changed his life. And I remember when he was making a really big deal, because he was wearing a purple label suit, three-piece suit, purple label suit, and he was showing everybody the labels, and he did not make any bones about the fact that Beyonce dressed his ass in that
Yeah.
purple label suit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So guys, the women are not our competition, especially our black women. They're not our competition.
We're your biggest fan.
They're yes,
We're your
and
best teammate.
they're our companion, our teammate, our soulmate. Call it whatever you want. But if you take your time and pour into that black woman, and she pours back into you, there's not too many things you can't accomplish
Y'all can be
unless
so
you want to be in
powerful and great
competition with them.
together. Exactly.
Yes. Can you think of, and I always say this every show because I know it's gonna happen.
Mm.
You're gonna find that guy who puts you on a pedestal and says, you know what, Bridget, yo, you nothing but greatness. Because I know that's how you're gonna treat him.
Yeah.
Just think of where you two can become.
Trust me,
You
I know
already a
that. I
business owner.
honestly, I think I would be like, like you said, I feel like people compliment each other, and don't get me wrong, it's like I always had this ambition, and this job about me. but I couldn't imagine how great I would be if I had the right person next to me, and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. Like, if I had a great man next to me, the way that I know that I am, how I nurture and, and I try to motivate, people and push them to their greatness, two great people will be like unstoppable. They will be so powerful, It like I literally have a client and he's only like 25 years old. And I told him recently, I'm like, yo, you is so beyond your times because he like already graduated college. He has a good career. He works for the government and then he has his own clothing line. He's an entrepreneur. And then he has this girlfriend. She's a hairstylist, but like she's also big with the content on social media. You know what I'm saying? Where her social media is growing, and she went to college too. She's college educated, even though she chose to be an entrepreneur. But she went to college for marketing. You know, I feel like them together, they is a force to be reckoned with. Like, and I had to let him know that. I'm like, I'm like, you stay with this girl, you don't understand how successful y'all really will be together, And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying stay with someone just based off of their success, because if you're compatible with them and like this is my person, but when you see somebody who is your person, they treat you good, and then they have this drive and you have the same drive, y'all will complement each other and it will be nothing but greatness. So I feel like that's why people shouldn't look at your partner. Like when your partner doing good, use that shit as motivation so y'all both can get it. Y'all are more stronger together than y'all are apart. And you doing yourself a disservice by sitting there hating on your partner, when y'all could literally like be super successful together.
So I will say this, right? Speaking about that, don't be scared to let them know, especially let him know just what you said, because men will lose they'll lose focus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, the most powerful drug on this planet is pussy, and men will lose focus. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And they'll make the mistake of having a great woman at home and cheating on her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
pray that for that couple, I pray that never happens. I pray that he always keeps the focus on his woman.
Yeah.
But if you constantly let him know that what you have is powerful,
Powerful.
that may steer him away from some of the things, because I think, oh, I forgot who I was telling this to the other day, but as when you get married, there's forces in this world
Mm-hmm.
whose their sole purpose is to tear that marriage apart,
Right.
and they'll focus on the man first.
Mm-hmm.
They'll focus on the man first because pussy's a powerful drug, so they'll
Yeah.
they'll throw pussy at the man.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't get to the man, then they'll try to get to the woman.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's our jobs as individuals to not only put our person up on a pedestal, but put other couples up on a pedestal
Yeah.
and let them know that what you have is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Because hopefully the person who comes behind you when you're in a relationship, the person who comes behind you makes you feel that way,
Yeah.
and we keep doing that.
Right. That I feel
Black
like I have to
black
remind people that all the time. Women too.
black marriages are failing too much, way
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Because of the competition shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because instead of us sitting there going, let's make I move forward 2 steps, let's move you forward 3,
Right.
and then I move 3 behind you. And I now I'm 1 step ahead again. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. There was a time
Mm-hmm.
when we focused on each other
Yeah.
and we made each other feel like there was nobody better than us in the world.
Yeah.
and we lost that. You know,
Mhm.
um, I look at certain women and have conversations with certain women, and I'm like, yo, you don't really understand the power that you possess
Mhm.
as a woman. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to not only make and create or make and create life, you can make a man a better man.
Yeah.
So, but you got to be good to start yourself.
Yep.
You got to be in a position to look at a man and go, you know what? Let's make this move. I've seen women in the projects who ain't had shit
Mhm.
take a man who was making okay
Mhm.
and make them greater just by basically being their support system.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
the right person can be your best investment.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
absolutely.
I feel like, people, when you see something great, you gotta value it, you gotta nurture it, you gotta take care of it, and watch how it continue to grow. Y'all will grow together. But I feel like I don't care what nobody say. One thing I will always, when I see greatness or the potential of greatness, I'm always gonna remind those people, whether it be reminding the man or even the woman. It's been times where I had to tell women, like, you have a great man. Like, um, and I don't know. I'm just gonna do it because I see how it really is out here. In today's world.
I've seen situations where bright, educated women have looked at their friend's relationship and was like, "Oh, it's not moving fast enough for me, so you need to let him go."
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you?
yeah.
Like, who named you the foremost expert on relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you'd have just left them the fuck alone, they would be in such a better place right now. But
Right,
nah, you added your 2 cents because their relationship wasn't moving in the speed that you thought.
right.
That you thought a relationship should move. And what you did was you basically put the bug in her ear that you need to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Or if he don't marry you by next year, you need to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you? Who
right.
who named you the know all be all of relationships?
Who left you in charge?
Exactly. Because and I've seen those relationships fall apart.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
when that person who you told, oh, if he don't marry you by next year, leave him.
Yeah.
And they do it. They fucking leave him.
Yeah. Don't
And now
don't
they sitting in their motherfucking house by themselves.
exactly.
And that woman who told you to leave him is with somebody now.
Yeah. Don't be influenced by no dumbass fucking friends that's really hating on your situation, what you got going good.
Exactly. What
I
they
seen
should
that
be
too.
saying is be patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Because
And
if he
and, and
ain't
that's
if he
another
ain't
thing.
hurting you,
Right.
go ahead.
It's really off of like people just comparing to other people's situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, she up to that girl, she met her guy and they got married within a year. Okay, maybe our situation different. Maybe we had
That's
to,
right.
we had to experience some shit together. You know, like I don't know. I feel like you can't compare yourself to nobody, and definitely if your friends not on your team, and when if you know you got a good partner, and this go for men or women, because I feel like men sometimes y'all friends can try to sabotage y'all relationships too. Whole time they jealous because the type of woman you got. You know, if you know that you got a good woman or you got a good man, and your friend is in your ear trying to break that up, like you don't need that type of person in your life. You know, because people will really try to sabotage their quote unquote friends relationship just out of jealousy and envy, being envious, and just straight up hating. And then next thing you know, you gonna, like you said, you gonna be sitting there single as hell, lonely with nobody, living in regret. Like, damn. you know. Like me personally, like if I have some people around me that's in relationships and even married, and I will straight up tell my friend, like, girl, you got a good ass man. You better fucking appreciate his ass. If they arguing, I will also, if I, and the thing is, I call a spade a spade. Like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So even if it was my friend that's
Mm-hmm.
wrong, look, you're wrong. You need to apologize to him. You need to let up off him. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I just call a spade, you know? So I feel like if you got friends around you that's just like, girl, leave him, you know, or tell or if it's a man, you know, telling you if your homeboy telling you need to leave her, you need to leave her, you know, and you know that you got a good partner, yeah, you need to really check your friend, your quote unquote friend,
Mm-hmm.
and not really your partner, you know, because people be mad,
And
envious.
and I think it happens more with women than with men. So men don't always they won't sit there and go, yo, you need to leave her.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and be quiet and be like, yo, you know what? I can't speak on this shit, even though I know it's fucked up.
Yeah,
When
but
I broke up with this girl one time, and I called my boy. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Shit's over. We broke up or whatever. And he met up with me and he was like, yo, I wanted to tell you this shit the whole time. He was like, but yo, she was fucked up for you anyway. And I'm like, yo, why didn't you fucking say nothing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you couldn't say nothing. You couldn't throw a hint. But because men don't do that. Because a man's gonna see another man as, okay, you just trying to get with mine. Women don't do that shit. Women will insert their fucking opinion even where it don't
I
fucking belong.
I'm not gonna say men don't do it because me personally, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I know men that do it, but like, okay, we'll just use this as an example. What if you out with your boys and your woman blowing your phone up? Where the fuck you at? You said you wasn't going out tonight. You always with your fucking friends, and your homeboys see that, and they're like, man, she fucking tripping. You need to leave Shorty alone. I feel like men be doing the same thing, but not understanding that the woman not tripping on you for no reason. It's because you gave her a reason to be insecure. You know what I'm saying? So
Me, I look at that shit like, yo, you better go home because you fucking her. You ain't
yeah, but
fucking me
okay, so
tonight.
that's you.
You better get your ass home.
Yeah,
Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's
Go to
you.
follow the
But
pussy.
you can't say that like men ain't never be like, yo, she tripping. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody homeboys ain't never, yo, she tripping the whole time. Your woman is tripping because your ass be cheating. You know, you ain't doing what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing, and that's why she tripping out on you. You know, it's not because she's a bad woman. You know, and she don't want you to have fun. You know, you just might have lack of boundaries and respect for your woman.
Sometimes that woman telling you to bring your ass home might get you to dodge a bullet that's out there for your ass. So
Yeah.
sometimes when she say bring your ass home, take that shit for maybe I should be in the house. Maybe I should be in the street tonight. Fuck it.
Y'all should
You
listen
know
to
what I'm
Dawn.
saying? You ain't missing shit out there. You might miss that bullet that's coming around the corner.
Yeah.
So take your ass home. It's we just really got to listen to what each other's saying and what each other's doing.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll sum up the show with saying um, two two powerful people together can only be more powerful. And if you if you can find that person, you know, not leaving out, you know, my LGBTQ plus folks, because you know I don't want to leave them out either. If you find that person who is your person, whether they doing better or a little bit worse, y'all can still be powerful together. Y'all can accomplish so many more things together than you can do apart.
Yeah.
So, you know, take the moment, figure out who you with, whether they're going to be an asset or a detractor from your life. And that equals mates and that equals friends. Um, I'm always going to big up my friends, you know, whether you whether you making $100 more or $10,000 more, I'm gonna big you up because
Yeah.
I want you to big me up if I when I get on.
Right.
Um, tonight's show has been a culmination of a lot of things, and not to say that we're not going to have a whole show about some of the things that we talked about, but understand that when we say on the show, we're either saying from things that we've researched or things that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And if we went through it, we want to help somebody else so they don't have to go through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, but till next week, uh, this is the threesome show with Bridget and Don.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Um, and we'll be back next week. We're gonna do this shit again.
Yep.
Um, but when Bridget talks, y'all should listen because she know what the hell she's talking about. So pay attention to that shit. Until next week, people will be easy. We love y'all. Peace.